This week we're going to take a look at price reaction in soybean futures to the USDA reports that will be released in January, in this case on January 12th. We're also going to take a look at updated weather trends in Brazil and Argentina and take a look at long-term trends in November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved into early January here, and this market is starting out extremely volatile. We're going to start out this week, however, talking about the USDA reports that will be released on Wednesday, January 12th. That'll include final crop size for the 2021 bean crop here in the U.S. It'll also include the quarterly grain stocks estimate on December 1st for U.S. beans, and it will include an updated supply and demand picture. Let's take a look at where the price changes have occurred on the day that those reports have been released in the past. What we did with this chart was plot the change in March soybean futures in the red bar, as well as the change in March corn futures in the blue bar over the last 15 years. Here's the key message. Each year is different. It's simply impossible to predict what the market's going to do. For example, the last 3 years, in 2018, 19, and 20, prior to last year, were very quiet. Not much of a change, but look at last year. A sharp rally, 45 cents in soybean futures on the day that report was released. History shows there have been changes to the upside way back there in 2007 and 2008, but notice in 2009, 10, and 12, sharp declines. Here's the key message. Price is truly unpredictable. What you want to do as a producer of beans is work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your risk management strategy in place prior to the release of these reports so you can manage price risk either to the upside or the downside. Let's move on now and highlight weather trends in South America. We're going to start out looking at where those soybeans are produced in Brazil. We looked at this map before, but it bears repeating. In far northern Brazil and Mato Grosso, they're actually harvesting a few fields of beans. However, in Rio Grande do Sul, in that far southern state, those beans are weeks away from being harvested. So a wide range in terms of crop maturity. Let's highlight weather trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're going to start out here looking at a subsoil moisture map for the last 30 days, basically a proxy for subsoil moisture, looking at moisture trends over the last month. Notice in far southern Brazil how dry it's been. Rio Grande do Sul, Paraná, two key producing states, quite dry. As you move further north, however, notice it's actually been wet, in some cases too wet, maybe in some cases in Mato Grosso. But point is, it's quite a divergence in weather trends. Now we're going to look at the next 2 weeks, next 14 days. That weather pattern continues to persist. Wet in the north, and as you move further south, drier in those far southern states. Let's quantify that over the next 2 weeks percentage-wise. Over the next 2 weeks, near normal rainfall in those northern states, but notice as you move further south into Paraná, as well as Rio Grande do Sul, below normal precip. And that's what's worrying the market here as we move into January. Of course, the other key soybean producing country in South America is Argentina. Let's take a look at where those beans are grown in Argentina. Now, we've got 3 main provinces in terms of soybean production in Argentina that account for nearly 80% of the crop. That's in Buenos Aires, Cordoba, and Santa Fe. Let's take a look at the short-term weather trends for those provinces. Again, looking at moisture over the last 30 days here. In contrast to Brazil, it's really more of a gradual drying out pattern that's occurring in Argentina at the moment. There are some areas in northern Argentina that are already dry, but most of those southern areas are in decent shape. However, as you look at now the next 14 days, notice how dry it's forecast to be in those key provinces of Argentina, and that's really caught the market's attention. Why has it caught the market's attention? About 30% of those beans now in Argentina are blooming, maybe 30 to 35%. So again, not critical yet when we get into that pod set and pod fill stage later here in January and into early February, but still becoming more important. Now we quantify that over the next 2 weeks. You can see all that intense dryness, that red area in Brazil, in Argentina. I want to emphasize one thing about weather markets, however. Weather, as we know, can change on a dime. I strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement and avoid predicting price movement. Let's wrap things up this week looking at long-term trends in November soybean futures. I've looked at this chart before, and now it bears repeating that with November 2022 soybean futures, near $13 a bushel. That's the highest price ever for November soybean futures in early January. Now, a lot can change, but a lot can change between now and even the crop insurance period there in February, highlighted in the yellow bar. So again, strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to prepare for these 2022 crops. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.